Welcome to Chill Hangout number 33. I've got the wrong screen, I just noticed. Yeah, whatever. I'm your host, Devious Dave Rose. Let's just quickly change that here. Kind of did start off as a game stream, but, you know, I'll make it chill too, because that's how I do, is start off by chilling with a little fishing, and we see where we go from there. Shout out to Fest Love in the chat, Latino Heat, The Dan Kennedy Show. Yeah, it does have a sort of Western type feel to that. But, yeah, I'm just going to chill. Looking forward to some AEW tonight. And, there's the thing. Just going to start up the Fishing Planet. And, yeah, right now you've got Nikki J, who's currently live with his classic WoW gameplay. So if you like that sort of thing, check it out. YR's doing a stream right now, a drama lover stream. It's kind of funny because if you heard his stream from last night, you had, you had the mestizos fucking crying and whining about, oh, well, this is the same and blah, blah, blah. And meanwhile, ignoring the fact that it was YR that put that clip together that asked me to do it. But, you know, then we forget the fact that, you know, while I was out of the internet, you had, what's his name? Jacob RP, so desperate for something. I've been so bored and blah, blah, blah. And YR actually did make a point, I think it was yesterday or today, where he was saying, like, yo, you were asking to talk about Scott stuff and so forth and blah, blah, blah. So there it is. But if you want to, you know, listen to YR, he's live right now. I think he had like 30 viewers or something. So if you want to hear their version of drama, I guess, or whatnot, there you go. Waiting to see why this is not showing my game here. Yeah, it's supposed to be doing that. Oh, it's going to the wrong game. That didn't say that at all. So there we go. Now it's doing it. Let's do another fade. And shout out to the 6 viewers. And let's play. But yeah, if you want to hear bad jokes and look at bad cooking and stuff, go to YR's channel, because Greasy Illegal, a.k.a. SC Steve, certainly on there acting like the bitch that he is. And, if you want to hear another bitch, you can go listen to YR's stream from last night to hear Jacob RP whine and bitch. But, you know, don't ever expect him to actually stream or provide anything of competition, because he doesn't even understand that fucking word. And obviously I've hurt him very badly by just speaking the truth, which obviously pisses him off a lot. But that is the way of weak-minded individuals. Fest Love says, can't stand to hear the forced laugh from Keith for so long. Emmons Viking was funny, though. Yeah, Vikings is a funny guy. He says some funny things, and hey, he's always welcome here if he wants a platform where he doesn't have to compete over people who are constantly saying, hello, hello. Well, hi there, faggot. Hi there. You don't have to remind me that you're here, and we can certainly hear you. Just because we don't want to acknowledge it doesn't mean we can't. So, hello, I'm a fucking retard. Also, he's wearing sandals with fucking socks on. I mean, you're not a fucking hipster, so what the fuck are you doing there, Greasy Illegal? Shout out to the Ghost from the Coast. So yeah, we're going to start off the chill stream by doing a little fishing, which I do like to do, and bide our time until 8 o'clock when AEW will be going live, which I look forward to. There's going to be some good matches tonight, actually, and yeah, it should be a fun time. And then obviously after that, I will call into Joe's stream and provide my insight into tonight's event, which I believe is taking place. I think it's taking place in Daytona today. But shout out to Getty Lee's Owl Nose in the chat. He says, "What's up?" Excuse me. But yes, yesterday I thought the stream went quite well. 5 hours of awesomeness, and despite people like SC Steve or fucking Jacob RP, like it's the same thing over and over again. Well, to talk to your boss there, YR, who put the clip together and asked me to, discuss it. But whatevs. What do we got? We got dough balls. I know it's granted we are going into the less active portion of the afternoon in this lake, but there should still be a few bites, so interesting. I want to try to make some money here so that we can buy some additional gear. And yeah, we're going to need to fix that line. I think I'm just going to go ahead and have it break, and then we'll just buy a new one. But yep, I'm on the Discord. If anyone wants to jump on there, feel free to do so. If you want to call me on Skype, well, you know how to reach me. But yeah, there's no, as always, the chill streams have no specific direction, which means we can do whatever the fuck we want and talk about anything. But yeah, I might even play a few clips just to laugh at Jacob RP from the stream from the other day. And in fact, I remember that I even asked, like, well, why do you watch then? And it's like, well, we're going to watch anyway. This is what RP said. Oh, we're going to watch anyways, but you got to just cover stuff that we like. Well, then why don't you tell me what it is that you want? Why don't you still define what competition means, which he still failed to do. And it's just like, well, no, it's stupid. I will cover whatever the fuck I want, and I will run the channel the way I choose to. If you don't like it, don't watch. But this whole thing, well, I'm going to watch anyways, even if I don't like it. Well, then congratulations. Look in the mirror, because there you have presented to you, as long as you don't break the mirror by looking into it, a hate watcher. And pathetic you are. Pathetic. But hey, you can't do any better, can you? In fact, every time you try, you fail miserably. But again, I guess I got under your skin by just exposing you for being somebody who doesn't just go for the bottom of the barrel, but you pick it up and you go to the fucking juices that have seeped through the barrel underneath, and you scrape the fucking ground with all the dirt and all the fucking dust on there, and you take that. That's his, his choice or preferred choice of meals. It's it's not even scraps. It's the fucking disgusting, oozing leftovers. But he certainly doesn't seem to like that, and certainly doesn't like it when I remind him that he could claim he's got all the game in the world, but dude, you're not going to be picking up a girl and saying, hey, here's a bus pass, let's go. It's just not going to happen there, bud. Man, what the hell's going on here? No bites. Let's try the other side here. At least there's not too many people here harassing me. There's one guy down over there. One guy over there. But yeah, you could hear that Jacob RP got very visceral with his comments and stuff. And yeah, maybe I will play some of that later. But right now, I'm trying to catch some fish. And, oh, it's Mr. Kennedy. What's going on?
Not much, just chasing clout, you know?
Yeah, I've got so much to give. I've got a warehouse full, so. So, yeah, you're going to be watching. What's that?
Yeah, I'm going to be watching AEW, you know it. I showed my brother that video yesterday.
Which one?
The one I was on with you yesterday with Bozy.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah. What do you think?
Because he's old enough to start to watch some more mature stuff on YouTube now, you know?
Uh-huh. Are you sure my stuff isn't maybe a little too adult?
He's 18. He can make his own decisions.
Oh, you know? I was thinking he was like 12 or something. Yeah, at 18, I think that you... No. Well, I mean, fuck, you can go to war, so... certainly make decisions for yourself.
I mean, the way I see it, if you can go to war, you should be able to smoke weed and drink.
Absolutely. Know? I've always said that. If you're basically fighting in war, then alcohol and cigarettes and weed even should be easily accessible for you.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 22 viewers watching me fish. Look at that.
Yeah. Wow. Cool.
But yeah, any comments that he had on what was discussed during my stream, or did he just laugh it off
And
like, oh, yeah, there's a bunch of retards on the internet?
and I'm quoting him. My 18-year brother can see that Skunty is a retard.
Well, even a blind man could. So certainly, at least his eyes check out 2020. You know.
Mm-hmm. And before anyone says anything, my brother has no mental, physical, or any other.
Well, I'm glad that you caught that off at the pass, because I'm sure that would be the immediate response. Well, obviously, it must be exactly like his brother and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, that's not how it works there, bud. Learn genetics.
No. Yeah. The thing is, he had nothing wrong with him whatsoever.
Yeah, but I'm sure that somebody would probably try to make that excuse and be like, well, your whole family's got autism, and in fact, your great-great-great-grandfather has... Yeah, shut up. It's always some sort of attempt to deflect and basically just use logical fallacies to convince themselves mostly. Not because I always say this. Who are you trying to convince? Everyone else or yourself? Because usually it sounds like these people just want to convince themselves somehow, which is the ultimate form of delusion. But yeah, 5 hours yesterday, I thought that was a good stream, and a lot was covered, and we had a lot of fun. I had some laughs, certainly, at the expense of others, which is always one of my favorite pastimes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta laugh at other people.
I, in fact, encourage that. It's very healthy, actually. Plus, it makes them mad, so makes me happy.
That's also why I laugh when I see any weird cat videos, you know?
Did you end up watching the Royal Rumble? Because I did not.
Yeah, I did. Happy Cody won.
Sort of was expected, though. I mean, he's sort of like they put him on the path to basically win the title. So
the Rumble was very predictable.
Yeah.
For who was going to win. I even called out who Rhea was going to challenge.
Oh yeah.
Early on. Before she even won the Rumble, I said if Rhea wins, she's going to call out Charlotte. Because there's the unfinished business from when, like 3 years ago, when Charlotte took her NXT title from her. So maybe Rhea's looking to get her win back or something.
Well, I would certainly expect, because she seems to have a lot of support and push right now, I'm going to have to guess that she's probably going to end up winning off Charlotte.
Yeah, but I can only hope that they bring bra and panty matches back.
Wait till it's sold. And in fact, just to be honest, I don't think that's... I mean, if the Saudi Arabians are the ones that eventually buy it, I don't think that will ever come back. Which I guess is another reason to try to block that sale to them. But in other news, 4 lawsuits have already been placed against Vince McMahon. So that's 4 already.
Yeah, I've been seeing that come up. And some of the lawsuits are some of the most random places too.
Yeah. Oh, I see that Dr. Earl is live with his music show. Let me just quickly check to see if they're cross streaming there, because YR's show. Oh no, he is still going. YR's still going with his. He changed the title. Ozzy retires from live concerts. RP has a good head on his shoulders. Right.
Oh my God. Osborne had surgery in.
I mean,
I guess they're doing a cross stream.
Ozzy retiring is.
What's that?
Ozzy Osbourne retiring is not that surprising. I mean,
well, he's retiring from touring, so he's still going to. He's still going to make music, but...
and shit. Yeah, but like retiring from concerts and stuff, it was time, you know.
Yeah, it's way over top. I mean, the fact is that guy should actually be dead considering the life he lived, and he's still alive. So
Yeah, but you know he had those super freak genetics or whatever.
that or a contract with Satan. So seems like a lot of the Hollywood types do that. So I'm gonna count that out.
Hey, you can make a shit ton of money and shit, you know.
Well, there's been a lot of artists that have actually said the same thing. I mean, even Bob Dylan said that he did that, that he sold his soul to Satan. Because they asked him, how do you attribute your success, your longevity and success? And he just straight up said, well, I sold my soul to Satan.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, these people are obviously very questionable of character. But, yeah, Super Bowl's in 2 weeks.
I'm not the biggest football guy, but you know, even I'm a little bit interested in the Super Bowl, you know.
Well, I mean, it is one of those events that happens obviously once a year, and there's a lot of push behind it. They make a big deal. I think Rihanna is going to be doing the halftime show, which do I have this? No, I don't. Which again,
I mean,
it's just like
I don't
I
see
don't
how you're
care.
gonna top the last halftime show.
Neither do I, to be quite honest. But
Like you had 50 Cent, Eminem, Snoop Dogg,
oh, was that
and
last year when all they went up there?
was that last year?
I
Because that's
remember
the
that there
last
was
one
a
I
bunch of
remember.
rappers on at the same time, and it was the halftime show. But again, it's just one of those things that I don't know. I'm not. Unlike you, I'm not really that interested, other than for the spectacle. And hey, it's something to watch on a Sunday, and it's it's
I'm
going to
more
be intense
to be
football
honest
and
with you,
stuff. But
Dave.
what's that?
To be honest with you, Dave, I'm more interested in the commercials than the actual
That is, I hear a
football.
lot of reason why people watch, and it's funny because in Canada, unless you're watching an American stream, you're actually getting Canadian commercials, which don't go anywhere close to the level that Americans do. Because I mean, shit, how many millions of dollars does it cost for a 30-second fucking promo or commercial spot on the Super Bowl? I think it's like 30 million. I could be wrong, but it's in the millions. And well, they certainly put a
That
lot of
that
effort into these
that.
commercials.
So is it like the same price to air on the Canadian streaming service that you use to watch
Well, it's
football
aired.
or
It's
whatever?
well, it's aired publicly on the Canadian services, just like regular TV and stuff. But the thing is, though,
Ah,
they just when it comes to American commercials, they'll just insert Canadian ones instead. So rather than some commercial that costs a few $1 million just to produce, you're just going to get the typical shitty Canadian commercials that really don't put much effort into it because again, it's an American sport, but whatever. I
yeah.
mean, it is something to watch the day after Monetize is 400, which is really what should be on people's calendars. Fuck the Super Bowl. But
And and I'm getting ready for that. Don't think I have much chance of winning with the bigger contenders, but
I
who knows?
doubt that I have any chance of
Maybe,
winning at
maybe.
all. But it should be interesting to
No,
see
you have
who gets the title. I mean, there's a lot of
from
contention.
what I understand. From what I understand, more people are willing to vote for you than to vote for me. So,
Yeah, but then that still is, you know, insignificant to the people who want to see Joe win it, or maybe Leah. Um, kind of doubt that Garguts is going to get votes, but I could be wrong.
I mean, what I was gonna say is the only possible scenario that I see for me even winning it if I get if it would be like if someone donated a shit ton amount of money out of nowhere at like the end of the show.
I don't know how the rules are going to be, whether or not there's going to be the potential for randomness, because a random type spin could potentially make anybody a fucking champ. So I don't know how Joe's planning
Mm-hmm.
to do it. I don't even know what's going to be happening this Saturday. I know it's supposed to be something along the lines of.
It's on February 11th,
I
if
know,
I
but this
remember
Saturday
correctly.
is supposed to be like highlights of monetize this. At least that's what I think I gathered, or
Uh,
review or something. So I don't know whether or not that's just going to be a
if
live show or if it's just clips that Joe's going to compile and play.
if it's gonna be a live show, I would this is just my suggestion. Not that I know how to run a show like that or anything, but I would give the potential contenders time to plead their case of why they should be champion.
That's not a bad idea, actually. In fact, it would also give an idea to people of who are the contenders, because I have no fucking clue. And in fact, who knows? Maybe Joe will just allow it to be submitted on the day of. So it's like, oh, I nominate so and so, and it's like, oh shit, they're not even on the board. Well, there they are now. So who knows in what direction it'll go?
I do think that there should be, and maybe, how do I put this? Like, there should be limits on who can be nominated.
I don't disagree with that. You know, yeah, I agree.
We don't want the belt to go to someone that had never ever actually been on the show.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
And never will be on the show.
But again, that's up to Joe. I don't even know how he's going to end up doing it, how it's going to be organized. But yeah, I think that would be an appropriate thing. If they're not on the show, if they've never been a host, I guess, or a watcher, a viewer, well, I don't know. It's a difficult decision to make, to say the least.
I think in the last 6 months, that way you narrow down the pool a little more, you know?
Yeah, but are you talking about callers and co-hosts? You're just talking about co-hosts, just callers?
I'm talking like solely co-host.
What?
Because they're no offense to the callers, Jay. The callers are great. What I'm trying to say is, like, the co-host and the people that have been on the show for the last 6 months have been the ones trying to produce something with Joe to entertain the callers and the viewers and stuff.
I'm gonna have to agree with that, actually. When Ken, for example, had the title contention, and then was talking about doing one just for the belt for the co-host, and then he initially humored the idea of having a ring for the viewers, right? Sort of like AEW, you know. I thought that would have worked well, as opposed to everyone getting a belt. So it would differentiate between hosts and callers, and the rings are still fairly nice, and from the same place I believe that he gets the belts from, and it would just be I think it would be a good differentiation between the two. So if Joe was to do that for, say, the callers, and separate that from the belt, which would be for co-hosts, I think that'd be fair, and it would still be affordable and manageable. Because at least with the co-hosts, you can, except for maybe Garguts, you can trust them that they're going to send the belt back if they lose it on time, rather than say for months that they somehow just can't send the belt back to Joe. That's exactly what happened with Garguts.
I mean, it's not a real concern with you per se, but I would prefer to keep the belt from leaving the country.
That's what I've always said to Joe when I was on the show in the past, in between sailaways. I always said that basically, don't vote for me. I'd tell the people, don't vote for me. And people would still vote for me, but don't vote for me, because Joe is going to have to deal with this massive bill to send it to Canada, because the taxes are fucking insane. And then they're going to pull some sort of fucking bullshit of, oh, well, you now owe, like, cross-border taxes and all this other shit. And that actually happened when
and it's gonna be...
when Ken sent me his belt. Then they started to make this big deal about, oh, well, it's insured for this amount, so you're going to have to pay this amount. It's like, no, that wasn't part of the deal, guys. You guys said it was going to be cool, and now you're fucking flipping this on us. And, and then the worst thing is that, Guy can't pay for this. Well, then we're going to send it right back to America, but now we're going to charge Ken as well for that delivery fee. They're fucking stupid. Getty for champ, says Gillies.
The best possible scenario for Joe, other than winning the belt himself or his wife winning it, is someone in Massachusetts winning it.
So you're pointing to yourself. I don't know too many other people other than Tony that's in Massachusetts. There's Troy. I don't know why Troy would even be allowed to to hold that
I
title,
don't know.
but
I just know that I know that there's like a big following for Joe in Massachusetts, from my understanding.
oh yeah, I'm sure there are other people, I should say, that live in Massachusetts that support Joe, watch him, but for the life of me, I can't think of anybody
But
other than
hey,
you and Tony.
hey, would I mean, let's look at it this way: would anyone really put anyone other than themselves over when it came to title night?
It's possible. Personally, I want the old belt. I don't want the new belt. I want the old belt. The one that I didn't grow up with it, but that's the one that was around when, I was doing a lot of work with Joe and stuff.
Like, the new belt's nice, but
Oh,
the
it's
old
beautiful.
belt is like,
Sith Negan got that for him, and it's got this, it's got the style of the old, I think it was AWA title.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a fucking beauty of a fucking title. And it's nice and chunky and big.
But the old belt for the show is like the Win Eagle title for WWE.
Yeah, but the thing is, and I never agreed with this. In fact, I called this out. But so basically, Joe Compton won the title, and then he defaced it because he got him and Tex got pissed off at Joe, and I was like, that you shouldn't have done that. You really should not have fucking defaced it like that. He said that it's permanent and you can't fucking fix it and all that. And I'm saying, you give that belt to me and I'll put it back into pristine shape. Like, you think that you fucking ruined it? No. Give it to me and I will bring it back to its original state. And that's a fact. And again, that to me, that belt means more just for the fact that I was around a lot longer while that belt was around, as opposed to the new belt. And I would just I would love to have that old belt, because I will fix it. I will fucking restore it beautifully, and not only put it on my wall, but even I almost had that fish. Fuck. And even take it to wrestling matches. Indie wrestling matches, promote a show and all that.
I don't want to get too much into it, but if I win the belt, I have a whole plan to try to bring the belt back to life almost.
How so? What would you do?
I would take it everywhere with me. I would be doing videos with it, everything.
Well, that is what's usually expected from the title holder. And
yeah, but how many title holders have actually kept to that?
With Joe's title, not many to my... Well, actually, hold on. Let's back up. What's her name? The lady from Las Vegas. She was quite ample-chested. Fuck, I don't remember what her name was. Somebody help me out here. Shout out to the lovely Miss Tiffany in the chat. It wasn't Gina. It was...
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of her name.
Yeah, she was a big fan of the Vegas Knights. I remember that her and JB would constantly talk about them. When she got that belt, she was all over the fucking Las Vegas Strip, like just touting that around, going to fucking... I think she went to a hockey match with that, or hockey game, with that title. I know that she was on the Strip. I think she went to a casino with it, or at least a restaurant on the Strip and stuff. And yeah, for the love of me, I cannot remember what her name is. Fuck. But it was a while ago, but I think she did an amazing job. I'm almost positive that somebody else who won the title did something very similar. JB, not that much. However, his stunt with the fucking burning it in the box, well, fakely burning it and freaking Tommy out, episode 206, I believe, of Monetize This. Oh my God, that's legendary. That fucking reaction that that Tommy had when he actually thought that JB burnt the belt. I was dying. You listen back to that clip, and I'm crying. You can hear me. I am crying. Monica, I knew it ended with an A. Thank you so much, Extreme Chef. So don't tut Extreme Shaft. Even in his accelerated age, he certainly has a good memory. But yeah, she did a fucking amazing job with that.
Better memory than both of us.
But no, she hasn't been around for a while, to be quite honest. But what's that?
Let me just give you my perspective on the last time the belt was on the line and what happened. You know?
Go ahead.
Because I haven't really fully talked about it ever, really.
Well, here you go. Now you can.
I feel like when they did that, they completely negated or what the word? Like the whole point of the belt, you know?
Interesting. Why so?
Because it wasn't like a tag team belt; it's a singles belt.
Oh, that. Know? Oh, with that, was that the last time it was actually won? When they used that the rule of, well, I guess it's sort of like the Freebird rule, but just with two people. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that fucking little act either. I thought it should be with one person, but.
Yeah, because the whole point is, for the record, Joe Compton was never champion. It was Tex. Tex was the one that ended up actually winning the belt.
Oh, it was Tex that won it. Okay. Tiff says in the chat, I wouldn't be seen with a wrestling belt in public. I don't want people to think I'm handicapped. Well, that's discrimination, and at least in Canada, you can have the government sue them. So at least you would be protected if somebody thought that you were special for carrying that around. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you're going to a wrestling event, you certainly want to be representing and showing the colors. And you know, people look at that belt, they're like, "Oh, that's a really good-looking belt. Who's Joe Cronin?" And be like, "Well, gather around, my friends, so I can tell you a great story. Check them out online and blah, blah, blah." And, hey, that might get more viewers and such.
I mean, the last time I went to an AEW event, I got the Joe Cronin sign on TV.
Nice. So you did actually get, because I remember saying, like, yeah, you should bring a sign and stuff, and I don't know if it was you who said, like, I might not be on camera, so it wouldn't be seen, so.
Yeah, last time I went to an AEW show, I think it was like just that the pandemic ended. It was the same show that I met Cody.
Hold on a second. Can you, Vikings? Hold on. Vikings just called into Skype. Just so that you can be part of this, Dan. Can you call into Skype for me so that we can all be on the same call?
It's gonna take me getting messages from someone I didn't want to get messages from, and I just got annoyed and deleted Skype.
I see.
So it's going to take me a minute to get back on Skype.
Awesome. Well, you know how to reach me, bro. So just do that, and we'll keep your seat warm for you. How about that?
Okay.
All right. So just so that there's no confusion, I'm going to disconnect from my Discord so this doesn't cause any problems. There we go. MN Vikings fan.
What's up, Dave? What's up, man?
You have the floor, man. How you doing?
You had him over on Discord?
Yeah. I don't know. You have? Do you have Discord? Sorry. Say again. Okay. Well, I try to offer two options to call in. The problem is that when somebody's on Discord and somebody calls into Skype, because I don't have the fucking stupid software set up to route them both together, you won't hear Dan and he won't hear you, but I'll hear both of you. And it's just, I mean, I'd rather have everyone on the same call, right? So, I mean, whatever's easiest for you. Right. I guess Skype is the easiest, and Dan doesn't seem to have a problem to reinstall it, so we can go. I am trying to at least allow for the possibility that we get more people on different platforms. I know it's a little wonky, but hey, this is how we run things here.
Yeah, it gets a little confusing.
Yeah. Now, apparently you were Terror Stream. How did that go?
Yeah, that was fucking torture, man.
Those jokes? Oh my god, those fucking jokes. You kidding me?
I was trying, dude. I was trying.
No, I'm saying the joke.
Trying to liven it up.
No, I'm saying the jokes that fucking SC was saying. who also, I don't know if you heard, but I called in, and he's like, I don't want to talk to this guy. I would feel much more comfortable if he wasn't on. I'm like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. Obviously, someone got a lot of sand in their vaginas, so I'm not going to fucking cause any disturbances. But, yeah, the guy's a freak, fucking putting his hot dogs in a fucking air fryer. Just fucking abhorrent.
Dude, it was some fucking terrible shit, man. Terrible.
I bet. And did Jacob RP end up calling in as well?
Nah, he never showed up.
Oh, thank God.
I think he was too busy working too hard.
Yeah, right. Working on hitting on
You
single
know-
women with children. Yep. Single mothers.
The one thing, dude, I guess I'm already sick of is calling over to YR shit, man. And he's just fucking a part-timer, dude. He's not even there. He's just part-time flying around, flying his airplane, fucking off. He's not there, dude. And it's like, dude, you're supposed to be like hosting this shit.
True.
You're supposed to be there all the time.
True.
You're supposed to be on the shit. Fucking making sure and adding the right people. Not having fucking your retarded sidekick Keith fucking adding fuckers. Dude, it's just a fucking complete fucking fuck game.
It's a shit show.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It is, dude. It's so. I mean, it ain't even fun. You know what I mean? I'm trying. Because, like, part of me is, like, partially just bored and something to do.
I hear
know?
you. I totally do. But at least here you'll
But-
get some intellectual
but-
discussions.
But, dude, it's just. It's fucking just retarded, dude. It's like, fuck this. You know? Like, I'm trying to be cool with everybody over there, mostly, you know. Even though Keith fucking sucks. SC Steve sucks. RP sucks. But I'm just trying to be cordial, you know what I mean? And then YR ain't there. So fucking. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, it makes you ask, what's
You
the
know?
point? What's the fucking point? Meanwhile, you and I could talk about the shit that's going on with Biden right now, the stuff that's happening in Ukraine, even UFOs, all that stuff. We could talk about intellectual, interesting topics. And you try to pull that on YR's show, it'll be like a deer in headlights, crickets, and nobody would know what to fucking talk about. But you can carry on a conversation when it comes to that sort of thing. We've talked about shit like that in the past.
YR goes back to, let's talk about the drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I do find, and I mentioned this earlier, I do find it comical. It's like, I'm away. Oh, we want drama, Dave. Okay, here's some drama. Oh, we don't want that drama. What kind of drama do you want? Competition. Do you know the definition? I have no idea. It's like, then don't fucking say shit. And in fact, how about this? Let's break it down for the fucking mestizos. How about this? If you can't verbalize your shit because you can't even speak bad English properly, how about you show us what you think is better? How about you just fucking make a fucking stream and show me and show everyone else how to do the show, what topics should be discussed, and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Kennedy has returned. So, yeah, that's the thing. I've always made that point. It's just like, okay, well, if you don't like what you're watching, why don't you, and you're also criticizing it, why don't you just do it yourself? Show me how it's fucking done. Crickets, never done, ever. Shout out to Irish Dave in the chat.
RP can't fucking do a show. RP can't do a show, dude. Come on.
No, he can't. And SC Steve can't either because he's relying on YR to fucking highlight his hot dog cooking skills. Like, dude, come on.
They're hacks.
All
It's
right.
a hack shit.
How much skill does it actually take to cook a hot dog?
Well, according to Greasy Illegal SC Steve, you'd probably need a PhD in rocket science because to him, I guess it's such a complicated maneuver that he thinks that everyone needs to be, PhD'd to be able to do that. And it's just like, dude, my God, he's so stupid. So stupid.
Well, these motherfuckers need to go to fucking podcasting school.
Hold on, I think they actually need to graduate from
a
school.
little bit.
Yeah.
Fucking take a fucking college fucking course and fucking something.
Doesn't
because,
YouTube
man, these
still
guys are
offer that
fucking-
YouTube school shit? Where like you can like learn how to podcast and all that? Or how about you just jump on YouTube, how to podcast? You'll find a billion fucking videos that'll show you, who can do it and what you need to do. But that's
Yeah,
too
the
logical.
whole-
What's that, Dan?
There's a full school in Florida called Full Sail University where you can learn to do all that.
Yeah,
I
but
suppose it wouldn't matter even if you fucking were taught it, you'd have to still be able to comprehend it. So I don't know.
that's true. And it would help if English is your first language and not bad English. But
See, the problem is that they see so many people, other people in the community, like try to come on
yep,
and try to put a show together, and they try to call it a show, and it's really not a show. It's really just.
you raise a great point. You raise a great point.
They're just really, they're not doing a show. You know, it's not a podcast. It's not like a Joe Rogan or, you know what I mean? It's not anything like that, dude. It's just it's like a bunch of dudes sitting around in the
It's a
fucking
hangout.
locker room.
It's a hangout, exactly.
It's just a locker room chat. Like, it's not like you're fucking doing anything really entertaining. You're not trying to do different voices and skits.
Nope.
And, you're not really trying to do anything that's worth the fuck. So how can you say that that's a show?
They
Like-
overvalue their work though too. They're like, "Oh, well, this was great." It's like, no, watching you fucking put like fries in a air dryer, whatever they're called. Air fryer. There we go, dryer. That ain't shit. I mean, if I was to start talking about Biden right now, I know that fucking Vikings could easily talk to me about it, and we'd be talking about things that are in the news right now that a lot of people are not aware of. But yeah, I agree.
Here's the thing. Like, when there was the Real Drama Club, they were doing commercials, and they had segments.
Those commercials are
You know what I
hilarious.
mean? And it was actually shit being put into it where you could somewhat consider that more of a show. It wasn't really very professional at times. but
Well, it
was
depends who
more
was
like a
doing what.
show.
My commercial sounded fucking awesome.
Yeah, some of it was real more professional, but then some of it was kind of just whatever. But that more had a more of a show feeling to it. But when you go around and see what's going around these days, there ain't a lot of that feeling going around. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of fucking whatever shit.
Gotta agree.
Like when me and Silver Roll did shit, we tried to do a show. We didn't just try to do a fucking locker room podcast garbage.
Well, you did.
know what
You
I
had
mean?
graphics. You had fucking video. I don't even have
Yeah.
fucking video most of the time, but you did try to stay consistent with that. And again, it wasn't just like, oh, what did you eat? Oh, what did you eat? Oh, did you see that TV show? No, it's like, oh, let's talk about fucking what's going on in politics. And did you hear this? And blah, blah, blah. So there was actually much more intellectual content there than what you do see with some other people who claim that they know.
Because actually when I had to do it, I had a notebook and I had talking points and I'd write down some shit each week in my notebook.
I remember that.
And then I'd bring my notebook over there and then I had my shit. And then also sometimes I would just put them in my notes in my phone, in one of my phones. And then I'd open up the notepad on my phone. And then I'd have my talking points there because you gotta fucking be prepared, man. You gotta have a little preparation. You know what I mean? You can't just, you can try to go in there with nothing, but usually it didn't turn out very good. It seemed like it worked out better if I had a few talking points. You know what I mean, Dave?
Absolutely. Which is why I always, before I go live, I always have a few talking points in case we need to raise them.
I mean, like I'm saying, there's two ways of doing shit. And if you're really serious about it, you need to put, if you want to have a good show, you have to put some effort into it.
Yeah, and I mean, if not, just
And-
admit it's just a fucking hangout, you know? There's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that, but I mean, it's not the same as a podcast or a show or anything.
I mean, that's what I would.
I think that YR could put on a show if he put some effort into it, but
Well, he has. I mean, he did fishing streams, and those were certainly organized properly, and I thought
Yeah.
those, I enjoyed those.
he's capable of it. But
Not when he's
No.
dragged down by, people that he invites onto his call that really don't add anything to it. So there's that.
he's got too many of them kind of people, though.
I'd have to agree.
Too many, dude. Too many people bringing it down, dude. I think YR, like I say, YR could do better. But hey, I don't know.
You need to be more selective with who he lets on his show.
Oh, I totally agree with that. But no, to
can't.
wire or anybody that just pops up, I guess, is validation enough to continue on with the show. But we can hear the detriment that it causes when you, I mean, just what, 10, 20 minutes ago, you had SC, Greasy, fucking just doing the dumbest fucking jokes ever. And it's just like, is that called content there, bud?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dude, the jokes were so lame.
Yeah, there was really nothing there. So.
You know, Dad, when Tommy and C tells better jokes.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. He does make better jokes than
Yeah.
what we heard.
Yeah, I hate to agree with that, but I would say Tommy does make better jokes. Tommy's made much better.
I hate even having to bring up the point that Tommy and C tell better jokes, you know?
Well, the truth hurts, but it's the truth regardless.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, when I was over there, I was like, what? And they said that you were live. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't even know.
Well, I'm glad you called in. I didn't really advertise it too much. I just decided to go live. No super long intro or anything. I just decided, hey, let's do this. But, yeah. Here we are.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for...
50 minutes or so, 49 minutes. So I'm looking forward to that. A lot of good matches, in my opinion, that are coming up. So that should be good. This one with Daniel Bryan and this, I think, is it Timothy Thatcher? That should be interesting.
Yeah, that Thatcher dude looks pretty fucking mean.
See,
I'm interested in that match because I have high hope for that match.
well, see, I do like
Well,
this
it's
where
like that
Tony
dude.
Khan does bring in people that sometimes you've never even heard of them before. But obviously, there's a lot of marks and people in the indies that do know. And if Tony Khan is putting this guy to go against fucking Daniel Bryan and being supported by Jericho, there's certainly going to be something that we're going to watch tonight that's going to be special.
I mean, the thing about Tony Khan bringing in all the indie guys is he's doing what WWE should have been doing. Cornering that market. Tony Khan is cornering the indie market.
Yep. And certainly bringing people that...
One thing that they're gonna AEW is gonna make an announcement that they're saying they're gonna have more live events.
Oh, they made that a couple of weeks
fucking
ago, I
the
believe.
night.
But they made that announcement weeks ago.
Yeah, I guess. Finally.
Well, I think that's awesome.
Which I'm wondering if they're gonna make Rampage live too.
That'd be nice. I'd like to see that. But it looks like they're probably going to end up having a couple of days a week where they're doing live shows. And I don't know what the status is as to whether they're going to be airing those, recording them, and maybe making them available somehow. But that is the plan. They know that the market's there, so Tony Khan's moving forward with setting up these live shows. So I think that's very cool. Plus, I think it speaks a lot to the confidence that investors have. Well, not investors, but I should say sponsors have with the company, that they would continue to support it and be involved because they know that this is a winning combination. And oh, they're not as big as WWE. Who fucking cares? They're showing that clearly they have longevity, that people want to see their stuff. They've got great fucking talent in there. And already they've lasted longer than Jim Cornette's Smoky Mountain Wrestling. So go fuck yourself, Carney Cornette, you piece of shit liberal fuck.
Yeah, you fucking pick her.
Cornette sucks.
He's a piece of shit. Liberal fuck.
He is.
That's why.
I don't even.
That's why you never. That's why you never really see Cornette in AEW.
You don't see him in AEW. That's the thing. You just don't see him in AEW. And
they don't want nothing to do with that fuck.
I will say one thing though. NWO was stupid.
See him in WWE?
NWA was stupid for letting him go, as he was probably one of the better things of NWA, and he did provide good color commentary. But that was a stupid move from fucking Billy Corgan to fire him because of his, jokes. You already knew what kind of jokes this guy told, so.
See, dude, Billy Corgan, he can write music and shit, but he can't write wrestling, man. He just fucking.
But he has some talented people working with him.
Can't do it.
I mean, that's evidence.
Yeah,
that
but you know what? But Billy Corgan, this ain't the first time that he's tried to write wrestling.
Well, that's true. He did that with Impact, but yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you because he even he was saying that there wasn't the ability to do Empower. They did the female only pay-per-view, and then after that came out, he's like, nah, there's not enough interest for us to do that. I don't know about that. I think there could be if it was properly promoted.
I mean,
excuse me.
I mean, look at what WWE did with their own female pay-per-view.
Yeah, actually, they really stepped up when it came to that, to be quite honest. They certainly did impress, and they were able to carry it quite well. It felt legit.
See, what I don't understand about the NWA. Why can't they fucking get no bigger live shows?
Because NWA is.
I don't know. What I'm saying is why can't they go around and do some different spots throughout the country and do some bigger fucking spots and sell out some bigger places?
It's not an issue because they're not big enough.
But they
should be able to go.
They should be able to. They should be able to get that.
The NWA came here. I got to see the NWA.
I think
good for you, but
I think it's basically that some of these venues don't think that it's profitable, and thus they're sort of limited to small venues and such. But I think they've got good talent. I can't necessarily agree with all the booking they've done, but I think they've got enough talent and enough recognition that if done right, it should be able to, get 5,000 to 7,000 person venues, as opposed to the 1,200 venues at most that they've gone through in the past.
Well, see, that was the one thing right before the COVID hit. They were going to do that venue, and I think it held like 5,000 people. And then fucking COVID hit, and it got shut down. They were going to do the Crockett Cup or whatever. It was a bigger place.
Yeah, but I'll say this, that
was their.
Well, Tony Khan at least was smart enough to base things out of Florida, where they weren't so stupid that they fucking locked everything down, and they had these events going on with COVID with an audience and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about the NWA.
It's disappointing. I would love to see the NWA to do a lot better, and I would love to see them start to get a lot more involved with AEW and other promotions, maybe Impact, maybe NJPW. But I'd love to see much more of a presence from NWA. I really think that they've got the potential to do so.
Yeah, but with the COVID stuff and AEW, wasn't Tony running it out of the Jackson?
Exactly. He was running it from Florida, and Florida did not go lockdown crazy like every other fucking state did. So they had. I remember the venue actually was sort of like open doors type thing. It was like wasn't outside, but it was basically an open forum, and that's how they were able to, get past some of those limitations and such, and
what they did,
they carried
you know
on.
what they made them do? When it first happened, they made them put a big old fucking tent up inside of where they were wrestling at, and they had to have it like quarantined, but you couldn't really see it. But it was just like this big black fucking tent, and they had it over Daly's place inside the fucker. And you see, then that's what they had to do. But then eventually they got rid of that tent,
Yep.
and they didn't have to have it.
A lot sooner
If
than
they could
fucking
have it there.
WWE did with their stupid. What was that stupid thing? The Thunderdome. Oh my god, was that fucking stupid?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I got screwed out of being on the Thunderdome because they sent me the wrong fucking time.
Ah.
Wow.
But
Yeah, see, you know what? It was depressing to watch AEW at that time, though. It was fucking depressing to see it because it was just no people, you know. It was just the only fans were the wrestlers. They were the crowd. That's how you got you had the wrestlers be the crowd.
it was less depressing than watching WWE where you just see a bunch of people on the screen. But I will say,
See, and that was the one thing, man. That was when Sting debuted. Sting debuted right in the middle of the motherfucking COVID, dude. I mean, imagine in front of like 5,000 people how much bigger that would have been. It would have been way bigger, dude. Way big. You know the winter is coming shit?
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that. I've been watching.
Yeah, where they have the snow. And they had the snow, but they had to do it in Daly's place with nobody in there but the wrestlers as the crowd. You know?
Yeah, I remember that.
It didn't have as big of a pop as it could have had.
Yeah, but you know what? Still seeing the wrestlers actually pop for the match, I thought that was good because they were certainly giving legit fucking responses to the match, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just saying COVID is fucking just an example of what COVID fucking ruined, you know? Something that could have been way bigger. You know what I mean?
COVID,
I agree.
COVID ruined an entire year of stuff, not just wrestling.
Yep. It ruined the world.
It's still ruining shit.
Yep. And now Biden came out recently and said when they asked, well, when are all these restrictions and emergency things going to end? He's like, when the Supreme Court says so. Sorry, Biden, it doesn't work that way. Fucking pathetic. And they keep finding more, I think this is the 6th time now they're finding classified documents in possession, in Biden's possession. So he's been taking documents since he was vice president.
Well, that's what's fucking weird is he's got that whole big like storage locker, and really all that's in it is his car and classified document.
You mean his garage, his little chintzy garage?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
That's
confused.
all that's in. That's all that's in the motherfucker. Is cabinets of classified documents in his car, and it's like what?
I'm confused about something. How is it okay for Biden to take documents but not other presidents and vice presidents?
Well, because when Trump, was elected, they had to take him down any which way they can, including fucking, making shit up. Like all these, the PP Gate, the Russian dossier, all this stuff, it's come out to be false. Anyone who didn't see that he was upsetting the establishment and actually thought that there was actual grounds for what, again, like raiding his house in Mar-a-Lago, wiretapping his fucking office in New York. Like you could have seen this from the fucking get-go, but it's a Trump derangement syndrome that caused a lot of people like, no, Trump is the worst thing ever and blah blah blah. It's like, wow, you people are fucking stupid. You fell for the fucking mainstream media lies, and now you look like fucking morons.
Could you imagine if Trump administration or whatever did that to Obama, how different the response would be?
They'd probably say that it was racist or something to raid Obama's place for classified documents. But Again,
Well,
it should be a clear.
that's
It should be clear evidence for everyone that Trump was treated way differently, and the Department of Justice straight up fucking committed sedition and treason by the way that they handled that sort of thing.
See, that's what's even stupider about it. Is the fucking president can declassify the document, and so then it's not. Fucking,
Well, certain classified documents, as long as they're not, as long as they don't fit a certain sort of national security profile, you're still allowed to keep certain documents.
Yeah.
But what's that bitch's name? Who's the press secretary for the White House? Some reporter asked her, well, what's the comment on these missing documents? And they're like, oh, we've got to refer to you to the White House counsel. And the reporter responds, well, they said they've got no comment. And the bitch says, well, there's your answer. No, bitch, that's not the answer. The answer is, can you address this?
Like,
It's what happens when you hire somebody that's just not based on skill, but just because they're black, female, and gay. And they're not talking too much about that. It's talking about classified documents and shit. They're not talking about that fucking tranny fuck that was in charge of nuclear waste disposal, who was caught fucking stealing high-end luggage from airports. Not just once, but multiple times.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So I'm confused. So Biden's entire cabinet is just a bunch of petty criminals?
That's saying it mildly, but yes. Yes, they are.
Tranny.
Yeah, it's all an affirmative action for all these supposed victims and stuff. Oh, you're gay? Well, you're hired. Oh, you're a woman? You're hired. Oh, you're black? You're hired. Or you're not white? You're hired. It's just fucking evident.
Well, I'm autistic. There's my fucking job.
Yeah, seriously, you should be like, I don't know, Secretary of Defense or something. But
No, make me the ambassador to Ireland and Jamaica.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Ireland and Jamaica. That's quite the distance that you'd have to travel.
Ireland. Yeah. I go to Ireland for my whiskey. I go to Jamaica for my weed.
No, then you should be going to Canada for your weed, dude. Or maybe
Canada,
maybe Nepal or India. They've got some good weed there.
I heard Thailand's fucking got some good weed now.
They do.
I heard they've been stepping it up, and Thailand's up there on the weed fucking shit now.
Shout out to the man with two first names.
There's too many ladyboys over there for me.
Yeah. I'm going to have to pass.
Problem with that. That's the only problem with that, but I guess their weed though is top notch. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. I
thought Amsterdam was like top notch, but
no, because the thing is though, they don't really grow much of that there. They import a lot of it. They don't have the climate necessary to actually grow some good ass weed, but fucking Thailand certainly does. India, Afghanistan, much more temperate locations.
Lebanon.
I'm not too sure about Lebanon, to be quite honest. You want moisture as well.
I heard Lebanon. I heard Lebanon has some good shit too.
Their ladies are beautiful. I'll tell you that.
I got it.
Especially the hash, Lebanese hash.
I heard that's good. Yeah. What's that, Dan?
I heard that's like top notch shit.
What do you got, Dan?
They should put me in charge of the IRS.
Well, the first act that you should do is abolish it.
No, I wouldn't abolish it because I still want to get paid. I would lay off 99.9% of the workforce.
Well, the thing is, though, until 1913, before Woodrow Wilson enacted the Federal Reserve Act, there was no income tax act. Yet America, strangely enough, still funded its military fully, still funded infrastructure development, still funded fucking roads, sewers, all that stuff. So explain to me, why the income tax inclusion. Well, because they wanted to tax everyone they could, which is why they actually pushed towards allowing women to vote. That's a fact, because these are in the documents. What they said is, well, currently we only have males paying for taxes because they're the only ones who vote. Well, if we will allow women to vote, now we can double tax the population, and plus encourage the destruction of the nuclear family, which we see right now. Shout to Bird.
You know what I was
in the
going to
chat.
say? You're talking about taxes. As funny as today I bought something on eBay, and there wasn't no taxes, and there wasn't no shipping. I was like, what? No shipping, no taxes? I was like, how the fuck did that just happen? It was funny.
Maybe they're overcharging for the product. That's why they can make up for that loss.
Yeah, I was surprised because I remember the days when you bought shit on there and there wasn't no tax. I do remember that. And then they started adding that tax like a couple years ago or something like that.
Amazon actually is highly subsidized by the U.S. government. They're able to undercut all these people, especially with delivery charges. Why? Because your taxpayer money is going to prop up a fucking billionaire that looks like Lex Luthor.
I mean, the other thing that really getting to me, because I'm starting to fully, like, just now start looking at who the politicians are, right? The thing that's really getting to me is why the fuck are we still giving money to the fucking Ukraine when we don't even have any fucking money to give?
Well, because it's actually a money laundering operation.
Yeah.
It's actually been
Funnel
proven
money.
that the money goes to Ukraine. Then the Ukrainians actually funnel it into donations to the Democratic Party and stuff. And now it's just basically it's been laundered. It's been cleaned. So it's just it's a scam. But it ends up costing the taxpayer fucking a lot.
The politicians are fucking putting money in their pocket and they're ripping it the fuck off. And they got caught, and the cocksuckers are like, well, shouldn't you pay it back? And they're like, no, we're not going to pay it back. Like,
Yeah, the
fuck
taxpayers
you
will do
guys
that.
got caught stealing the fucking money and you ain't going to pay the shit back? You fucking assholes. Like, you blatantly get caught stealing it, and you're like, nah.
And if the
we
U.S.
don't
keeps
care.
pushing this, they're going to cause World War III. You keep fucking pushing Russia, and you provide weapons to them, and they're basically trying to coerce Russia into actually attacking. So they keep giving more weapons and stuff, which is just coming from our taxpayer money. Canada recently agreed to give 4 tanks to Ukraine. Now, it's not a big number, but it's a huge number when it comes to the number of Canadian vehicles that are available, which basically those 4 being sent, and that's just the first shipment, is actually going to be detrimental to Canada's ability to meet its fucking international obligations, to protect its interests around the world, and to be able to mobilize in case there's a threat to Canada. So even 4 fucking tanks, sending them to Ukraine will affect Canada adversely. But Mr. Blackface Trudeau, by the way, it is Black History Month apparently. So Blackface Trudeau certainly doesn't give a flying fuck about Canadians.
I was gonna say fucking we gave Ukraine a bunch of fucking tanks, and Putin today or whatever is trying to blow up the tanks, and he's putting bounties on the tanks and saying if you blow up the tanks, I'll give you extra money, and he's all hell bent now on trying to blow up the tanks.
Well, exactly, because then there'll just be more orders for more tanks from Ukraine, which means the American war machine will will continue to make more money.
Yeah.
But
it's destroying.
Here's the whole thing. Though. Once China teams up with Russia, then the real war will be on.
well, they're sort of teamed with them right now. They are supplying.
Not really teamed up yet.
They're allied, and they've come to Russia's defense. They're selling them equipment.
you'll see because like all of a sudden there'll be like 7 or 8 million fucking soldiers, Dave. All right, instead of like 1.5 like Russia has right now. All of a sudden they'll have like 7 or 8 million, right? And like 4 million, like 4 million of them will be like Chinese, right? So then, and then all of a sudden that's when the shit's gonna go down, dude.
Yeah, but
That's what I think.
from what I've
That's
been
what
reading,
I
a lot of the Western soldiers just don't want to fight the war and they're just going AWOL and shit.
No, but China's not going to send troops to Ukraine. They will, however, utilize the support that they give to Russia to give them an edge so that they can then try to encroach on Taiwan. Because what's happening right now is obviously you have a split, and America is, concentrating on Ukraine while they're abandoning Taiwan. And there was a report earlier today that says that Japan is very much interested in creating this is what they say publicly, creating a nuclear program to deter China's aggression. Well, if you've been following the story for quite some time, Japan has actually had a covert nuclear program since at least the 70s. If you want to find evidence of this, because there's no admission, just like Israel supposedly doesn't have nuclear weapons. If you want to find the paper trail to figure this out, all you got to do is look up nuclear accidents Japan. And all those nuclear accidents that occurred, those are actually related to the weapons development program that Japan is tacitly running right now. And they basically have the technology, the missiles, and the delivery systems necessary to go into a nuclear war with China. So the Japanese are not to be trifled with. Look what they did in World War II, okay?
That's what I was about to say. I'm hearing that Japan had nukes. Kind of makes me a little concerned, given that what happened back in World War II.
No, well, be more concerned about China, who's blatantly said straight out, we are sending fentanyl to the West so as to, A, get revenge on the opium wars, because the small-dick slanty fucks just can't stand that they lost badly over the years, over the hundreds of years. They've never been able to show themselves to be a world power. They are a paper tiger. They're not the sleeping giant that Napoleon said they are. They're a paper tiger easily burnt. So the Ching Chongs are certainly quite angry at the fact that more developed Asian nations that are much more civilized, like Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, and Vietnam, are opposing them. And the Chinese want to keep trying to push this shit. They're not going to win this one. They're already fucking losing big time. This will not be the century of China. That's a guarantee. Sorry, Chi-Com, Travis. Sorry, not going to happen. Go drink your fucking black water.
The Japanese don't like the fucking Chinese.
No, of course they don't.
They do not like them, man. Fucked up. It's crazy shit to see, but they don't. They're like, fuck that. Dude, they get fucked with all the time, man. A Chinese person comes to Tokyo, fucking the soldier, the trained people, they're like fucking, they're frisking that Chinese motherfucker and shaking them down.
Look at how the Chinese treat the Japanese. They'll attack their embassy, they'll do all these protests. Forget about the fact that China has literal internment camps or concentration camps in China, not just for the Uyghurs, the Muslim minority there, but for the Tibetans, for people that are born in China that dissent. People that protested during Tiananmen Square, they were disappeared. They were sent to these fucking camps. But the Chinese and China, we're going to only protest the West. Oh, it's so evil. Look in the mirror and open those slanty eyes up and realize that you're the problem. You're one of the most populous countries in the world, second after India. You could easily overthrow the Chinese Communist Party. But what do? No, China is going to be great. China's going to be great. We got to keep supporting the commies. No, you get what you pay for. Okay? You get what you deserve.
North Korea is a little bit of a concern, but not really.
Now, look at what happened with... Okay, well, if there's such a concern, then let's rewind to when Trump was in power and how he was able to de-escalate that situation, actually be a president to step over that fucking demilitarized line and shake hands with the leader of North Korea, and he had them basically back off all their missile testing. You want a fucking solution? Well, Trump was offering it back in 2016.
Yeah, true. I feel like mainly on the Democratic side, they were just so obsessed with getting rid of Trump that they didn't stop to consider the consequences of their actions.
They didn't care. That's the point, is that they needed to bring this guy out as quick as possible. Why? Because he was talking about child trafficking. He was talking about the deep state, the swamp. He was talking about things that the elite don't want people to even consider is happening. And he brought too much attention to that, which means that they were going to make up. And again, you would think that after 4 years of all these lies, some people would be like, yeah, at this point, we can't believe anything the mainstream media says, the Democrats say, the rhinos say. No, but there's some people, even to this day, like, yeah, Trump was guilty of sedition, and it was an insurgency there. And you want to see an insurgency, assholes? History is replete with insurgencies that were quite successful and quite bloody. And what you saw in fucking Washington on January 6th wasn't anything close to that.
I don't know all my facts correctly, Dave, and I'm totally admitting that, but isn't the building they went into like a public building?
It is a public lit building, and in fact, the police were actually letting these people in as well. There's video, and that's another funny thing, is that they don't want to release a lot of these videos that basically prove that the cops were in on it. Well, the Capitol Police cops, because that's a different... Basically, Washington, D.C. is... The D.C. stands for District of Columbia. It's not a state. It's basically like the Vatican. It's its own fucking entity. So they have their own police force, all this shit. Trump even suggested bringing in the National Guard. No, denied by that fucking crypt keeper, Pelosi, who's got so much insider trading on her that she should have been fucking in the gallows long ago. But looks like justice is dead. And criminals are allowed to continue to rape the country.
Yeah, I mean, that much is obvious, Dave. I mean, if it was up to me, the stupid fuck that bombed the marathon would have been hung at the finish line.
Who?
The Boston Marathon bomber.
Oh, it's some interesting stories when it comes to that, too, but... Again, just think of it this way: the FBI is always coming out to be, the FBI has always found out, I should say, that they had these people on their radar. They were on the list of, terrorist threats to the nation, blah, blah, blah. And yet only after the attack happens do they capture them. But they were on their radar for the longest time. I mean, we have a lot of mass shootings that happened under Biden where the FBI came out and publicly said, yeah, well, they were on our radar. We actually had been observing them. Somehow they slipped through the cracks. Slipped through the cracks, or you pushed them to do that so that you could get more funding? It's so easy to tell this shit. People are very naive to just believe that even Ronald Reagan said this, like the biggest lies you can hear, I think it was something like that, where it's just like, or one of the statements that should be so worrying is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help, Like, if you actually think that the government isn't trying to poison you, control you, tax you to death, and keep you under your thumb with distractions of bread and circus, well, then you're living a fucking lie. The government doesn't love you. They just love the tax money they can fucking take from you and keep you under control and as a slave. They have no... Your interests are not theirs. There's that What's that?
The thing about the Boston Marathon bombing...
By the way, Russia warned America about them, too. Russia warned them. No, FBI does nothing. Russia warned America about the fucking Saudi terrorists that were taking flight school in America. America didn't do shit. Russia warned them. They had fucking intel on it.
the thing about the Boston Marathon, for me personally, is I was on my way to the finish line when the bombs went off.
You were running in it?
No, I was on my way to go watch the people cross the finish line. You know.
Well, if I talk too much, oh, Vikings left. Ah, Vikings. You should have at least told us. I would have given you a good hearty goodbye. But yeah, there goes Vikings. But yeah, if I talk too much more about what happened there in Boston, there's a good chance my channel will be struck because there's a lot of questionable things that occurred.
We can change the subject in its normal time for AEW.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
So I'm gonna go use my rocket science PhD LLC to cook a microwave lasagna.
Ugh, gross. I hate microwaves.
Yeah, but hey.
Can't you put it in the oven? It'll take like 40, 50 minutes, right?
Yeah, but it's not like one of the lasagnas
Oh,
you put in the oven.
What is it, Michelinas or something like that?
It's a microwave bullshit.
Pity.
Okay,
I hate microwaves. Although they are good if you actually, if you're looking, you can find the instructions. People doubt me. Oh, you don't know. Okay, fine. I'll send you to the sources. You can look it up yourself. But if you want to make a directed energy weapon, you can use a magnetron from the inside of a microwave. So basically, it is a microwave weapon. The UN somewhat considers them questionable or illegal, but it depends on how you interpret that. But yeah, you can make a rifle using the internal portions and parts of a microwave, and you can shoot somebody with a beam of microwaves from 100 feet away, and their skin's going to burn. I mean, in fact, the military already has these things. They're fucking these huge dishes that are sit on top of a fucking Humvee, and they were used in Iraq because they're not legal yet. Well, they sort of skirted the laws in America, but initially they were illegal to use on American citizens, which is why they shipped those things off to Iraq and used them against counter-protesters that were, obviously complaining about the American invasion. But, yeah, those things exist, and you can micronize them to the point where you can actually create a rifle that is, able to fire that magnetron, and you'll burn people using those microwaves. And I suggest people look it up online because you can make it yourself if you want, for entertainment purposes only. Also, I would love to debate Joe Cronin because I know I'd make a better president of the United States than he would. And we've always heard his fucking pie in the sky stories and like, oh, I'd be a great president. Meanwhile, I ask him, okay, well, what's your stance on this topic? Well, I don't know. It's like, no, sorry, I'm not going to accept that. If it was a debate, a political debate, it would be like me being Trump and him being Hillary Clinton, and I would just fucking verbally rape him.
Well, the thing is, Joe answers like a true politician.
No, because politicians actually have nefarious means. Joe's just a little altruistic and naive. So he's going to believe, oh, well, if we just do this, then everyone's going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. No, it's not going to be the case there, Joe. And again, his lack of knowledge on economics and, law certainly is detrimental to his stance because... he said the other day, well, I would fund the police even more and stuff. Police are obviously necessary for a conducive society, but, funding them more or having them better trained, Because, what about in Europe where you need a fucking bachelor's degree to be a cop as opposed to America? 8 weeks training at fucking police academy and then, you're just fucking hired right away, and we don't have enough cops because our standards are apparently too high. You mean like normal standards of civilized people? Okay, let's lower the standards. What happened when they lowered the standards? 5 black cops killed another black guy. Killed him. That's what happens when you lower standards.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is like.
What you thinking?
I could go try out for police but they won't hire me because I don't have the initial psych exam. So what I'm thinking is maybe invest in better, more into the psych field, so there's less problems.
Well, you have a lot of hotheads that are being hired to be cops. They don't have the knowledge necessary because they're sociopathic as it is. So they don't have the knowledge on how to deal with people, how to de-escalate. I remember back in the day, most of the cops, well, as a kid, I don't remember seeing cops with fucking bulletproof vests. That only came in the fucking 90s when they started to militarize them, just like they did in America. And then the cops, instead of being dressed in blue and white where you can see them from a distance, now they're fucking dressed in literally black, which makes them look like they're part of a fucking, kill squad.
Like tactical gear.
What's that?
It's like tactical gear.
Exactly.
Like,
They just they totally militarized them, and they gave them like more aggressive training, and they gave them military grade weapons. They keep saying, "Oh, assault weapon." No such thing. Okay, I made this point on Joe's show. You know, I got ridiculed for it, but guess what? I'm still right after all these years. You can call anything assault. You can call it an assault fish. I can grab a fucking frozen tuna and bludgeon you to death. Is that now an assault tuna as opposed to what's in a can, which is a semi-automatic civilian tuna? No, anything can be assault.
Yeah, but the thing about guns is that one little attachment is the difference between assault and normal, I guess.
Say that again.
Is my logic on the right track there?
I didn't hear what you said. You kind of cut out there.
I said all it takes is one different little attachment to be one certain way to differentiate between an assault weapon and a normal weapon, I guess.
No, see, the problem is that all guns matter and black guns matter. And what they see is when they see something that looks like an AR-15 that's all black, they're like, oh, that's an assault weapon. Meanwhile, you can find the same weapon with the same caliber, same measurements. All it has is wood stock instead of fucking ceramic synthetics. So, because it looks different, because it's black, that's bad. Well, you know what? Black guns matter, okay? Black guns matter.
I guess it's just weird, you know, because a lot of the people that talk about guns, from my understanding, don't know anything about guns.
That's the worst part, is when people who are ignorant on the actual topic try to talk about guns as if they know. And even in Canada, it happens. Now, I've been qualified for both. Okay, so in Canada, it's stupid. It's stupid. It really is. But there's no argument that they can use to say, oh, well, Canada's dangerous. No, to get a license to just have a regular long arm, which is, a rifle, shotgun, bolt action, even semi-automatic rifle, you got to go through some massive fucking hoops. You got to be trained. You got to pay for a fucking course. And then you're going to be waiting 6 to 8 months for the RCMP or FBI to go through your records, check you out. Okay, well, let's check this reference. Is this person psychologically sane? Have they ever made threats or anything? No? Okay. Well, have you ever witnessed this? No? Okay, well, then we'll consider approving them. And it's even more stringent if you get what's called an RPAL. So PAL is Possession Acquisition License. RPAL is Restricted Possession Acquisition License. What falls under restricted? Handguns. All handguns fall under a restricted license. And the stupid thing is that you have to have a specific, it's called I think it's ATC, application to carry. So basically, if you've got a pistol, you're only allowed, this is retarded, you're only allowed to take that pistol from your home directly to the fucking gun club, shoot it there, and then take it directly home. So, for example, say you're going to the gun club, you suffer a fucking, a blown out tire, or you need gas or something. You stop at the fucking gas station. Cops come up and like, Yeah, we ran your plates, and you're apparently an owner of firearms. Also, something very illegal for them to do because they're not supposed to be going into this database, which was supposed to be destroyed. And they'll say, "Oh, well, you're not at the gun club." It's like, "Yeah, I blew a tire." Well, you're not at the fucking gun club. You're under arrest. Your things are being repossessed, and you're going to be charged. It's fucking stupid in Canada. If it was up to me, if anyone's got those license, open carry. I want people fucking carrying around rifles on their shoulders, pistols on their hips. I want everyone to see that these are the people that went through the fucking stupid process to fucking prove that they're not a fucking danger. As opposed to these fucking gangsters that shoot their weapons sideways and are getting their guns illegally anyways.
Here's the thing, Dave. I'm not claiming I know a lot about guns, but I do know that I don't want to end up like the UK and Europe, where everyone's getting stabbed every other day.
Yeah, exactly. Europe. Oh, we banned all guns. Yeah, and now your fucking knife violence has exploded 1,000% every year.
And I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you keep banning guns, we're eventually all going to end up hitting each other with sticks and rocks.
Well, see, the thing is, though, is that the biggest cause of death in America is blunt force trauma. Not guns, not knives. It's blunt force trauma. It's literally somebody that gets into a fight and beats somebody and, they die. Or they punch somebody, they fall onto the ground, their head hits the ground, and they die. Or somebody takes a bat and they hit them on their head and they die. That's the biggest form of death in America when it comes to violent crimes, not firearms. In fact, one of the biggest forms of death in America is obesity. Maybe instead of focusing on fucking guns, maybe focus on, say, I don't know, Monsanto, who's been known to put out chemicals that are known to be cancerous. But hey, they've got enough money to pay off all the fines and stuff, and they're going to keep putting out that fucking product. Like Donald Rumsfeld used to work with Monsanto, and he was the one that eventually got into the FDA and approved aspartame, which is that shit that they put into Diet Coke. Already proven that it causes cancer. Look at the tumors that it causes on rats. And more importantly is that this aspartame shit doesn't actually keep you from gaining weight. In fact, it's the opposite. People get very fat taking like drinking Diet Coke because it's got aspartame, and they changed the name. Now it's sucralose, I believe. So they've got to keep changing the name because people keep wising up to the fact that they just want to kill you. Look at McDonald's; they want to kill you.
I'm sorry, but who the fuck drinks Diet Coke?
A lot of people, actually. And in fact, I remember in high school, like, I'm trying to lose, there's this big fat guy, I want to lose weight, I'm drinking Diet Coke. I'm like, douchebag, have you ever heard of aspartame before? No, I haven't. Then don't talk to me about health when you're literally drinking poison.
That's why, Dave, I tried to cut out soda, you know?
See, soda is not good for you, but in limited doses, it's okay. But more importantly is that there are natural sodas out there. I mean, before all these chemical bullshits and after, Coke stopped putting cocaine into their fucking soda, it's basically like sugar syrup, carbonated water, and boom, that was all it was. And in Mexico still sells their Coke with sugarcane, which tastes amazing. And actually tastes closer to what Coke should taste like. If you compare a Mexican Coke to an American Coke, I mean, the American Coke, it's like you're drinking some sort of like high fructose syrup. And
that's why
yeah.
That's why I'm stopping. I'm trying to stop drinking soda because I'm just sick of the fucking fake bullshit. That's why I'm switching over to iced tea and water, mainly.
That's good. Goon says in the chat, Dave, your opinion on green soda. What exactly makes it green? Is it just an additive? Are you talking about jarritos?
I think they're talking what makes Surge green or Mountain Dew green or something like that. I think that's what they're talking about.
Then it's probably just additives and, fake ones at that. But I do try to avoid that stuff, and I'm not a fan of the fake stuff. I mean, you can find natural root beer. You can, to some extent, you can still find sarsaparilla. But apparently in high doses, that stuff, even the natural stuff, is poisonous, which is why they took it off the market, unfortunately. But I remember as a kid in the 80s, there was sarsaparilla beer, if you want to call it that, drinks. And I like that stuff. Ginger ale, that's a fairly healthy type carbonated drink. Yeah. Okay, he's talking about the brand.
Yeah,
I've never heard of green soda before, so my apologies.
What the hell is green soda?
He says it's a brand. Never heard of it personally, but that's apparently what it is.
Yeah, it sounds like a brand.
I mean, I personally like Lime Rickies. You know, that's green. So obviously there's some sort of food coloring.
Not that it's healthy, but I used to drink Surge back in the 90s.
Yeah, that's not very good, to be quite honest. And shit, I've drank, as a kid back in the 90s, I drank Jolt. Like, it was like 2 times the caffeine or some shit like that. Yeah, they had some funky drinks there in the 80s.
80s, 90s. Is it me or is it the 80s and the 90s had like all the best snacks, all the best food?
I don't know about best. I remember a friend telling me that he went to Florida and they had glow-in-the-dark bubble gum. Then I read into this stuff, and it's actually radioactive. That gum was radioactive.
I mean, survival of the fittest?
That or the fact that, I mean, shit, America does promote the worst fucking lifestyle when it comes to food, so hard to deny that, you know?
Well, it's AEW time.
It is. I think, you know what, I guess I'm gonna wrap up. We've got 14 viewers. Just been fishing around, really, not doing too much, but I just got a link for that green soda. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I'm gonna be watching some AEW, and probably distract me from playing the fishing game. And I doubt that people are interested in watching me fish when they could be watching AEW, I guess, or watching somebody else. I think YR might still be on, but yeah, I think I'm just going to wrap it up. Had some good conversations here with both Dan and Vikings fan, and we burned some time.
I mean, who wouldn't want to see you catch that cod?
Well, I'm sure there's many. To be quite honest, fishing's not for everyone. But
well,
yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up.
And we'll see you go.
You keep cutting out. All right, well, there he goes. So, yeah, I appreciate your attendance here today. I hope maybe I gave you guys a few laughs, and maybe just made your workday go a little bit quicker or something, just hearing me drone on and on. But yeah, we're going to wrap up the stream. I'm going to go watch some AE dubs, and I hope you guys have a great evening. So who knows what tomorrow brings. On that note, I am Devious Dave Rose, and we shall see you next time.